This is Grandma. The better picture of her is in there. I don't have it here at the moment. And these, as a young woman, this was her friend. This was Minnie, her very close friend.
Minnie Brumby?
Yes. And in her later years, sometimes Mama would call me Minnie.
Uh-huh.
She thought I was Minnie part of the time. And, you know, they used to take pictures, romantic pictures like this behind the willow trees. That's the way they liked to take pictures. She babysat for a lot of people
and made all her own clothes, didn't she?
Made most of her own clothes. And here she is again. Here's one of the dresses she sewed for herself, and Caddy and Harold, here she's sitting on the fence. This could be the wine baby. Mother went to Macomb and started taking care of the baby at the very wealthy home, the Wines, and the little baby just loved her. The baby called her Mim. And when she was there in Macomb, these two, Caddy and Harold, Caddy was her cousin, and Harold was his, I guess, were they married then?
Yes.
They were playing cards one day, and my dad knew Harold. And so my dad was there at Harold's house, and they said, you know, we know somebody you should meet, Caddy's cousin. So they said, go over to the house with this umbrella and bring her here, and she can play cards with us. So Dad appeared at the house with an umbrella, knocked on the door, and says, Miss Marlette? And Mother said yes, and so he took her over to play cards, and that's where they got acquainted. And Grandpa...
I'm finding out things I never knew.
And when Grandpa decided, when Grandpa asked her to marry him, oh, she didn't know how she was going to tell her father, because nobody was good enough for her. And when she told him, he just went through the doors, house slamming doors. He didn't want to hear it. And he was a good man, you know. He was a strong man, but he just didn't want to hear it. And when they did finally get married anyway, she had to go out on her own, or she would have been an old maid all of her life, you know. When he did finally do that, Grandpa didn't go to the wedding.
Oh.
But after it was all over, up in front of the house drives this old Model T Ford. And out gets Grandpa with a bushel of potatoes. That was his peace offering. It was done then. Ever after that, he accepted Dad. but he tried his best to get it not to happen.
Do you know
Well,
any of the years? Do you know when they got married? What year or any of that?
when Grandma and Grandpa got married? Let's see, was it 1922?
I thought it was 1920.
Well, she was married in, I think it was 22, because she was married in 1900, and I think she was 22.
She was born in the...
Grandpa was a couple years younger
Okay.
than she was.
Yeah, I knew that.
So he was only. But back here to the rock crusher thing, Grandpa's rock crusher, threshing machine, I mean. He cut his fingers off one day, and they took him home, and there was Mother, just a teenager.
Threshing machine, you mean?
Threshing machine.
Yeah.
That's what I said. First I
He
said
says rock crusher.
And then I changed it to
Okay.
threshing machine. Went home, and here he held up his hands. My mother was a teenager, and here was her father with a mangled hand. She grabbed the scissors and went one side of his sleeve and down the other side, cut that shirt off, grabbed a clean shirt, stuck it over his shoulders, grabbed a clean towel and wrapped around him. And the friends put him on the car and took him off to the closest hospital, probably some miles away, you know. And all the way there he was saying, she's the best girl in West Point. She's the best girl in West Point. And she was, probably. I went back there. Laverne and I went back there a few years ago to find Grandpa's house. We found that little old house across from the park, you know.
Yeah.
And I went and around and asked, do any of you remember Fred Marlette? Oh, yes, we remember Fred Marlette. In fact, they showed us where the house was. So So it was fun to go back there. So anyway, we're about to the end of that. Well, this one starts with the wedding of Charles and Miriam. There they are. 1923, Karen.
Okay.
They rode horseback everywhere. But Dad would always come home before it was too late, and he'd tell his grandmother where he was going, what time he was going to get there, and he was there at that time. He honored that. And so she never worried about when they went out on dates or anything like that. Here, this is one of my favorite pictures, the bicycle lesson. And I think that she's really enjoying this bicycle lesson, so is Bill. Now, my father was 116 most of his life, 116 pounds. But if you get a chance to get close to that, look at those arms. My father had some of the strongest arms of anybody I ever knew. He had a big tattoo right there, didn't he, Larry? This is a favorite, too. That's they're resting from their ride. That's before they were married. They used to wear the big hats. This was some of their friends. I think there's a picture missing. I must have taken some out for something. Mother made this dress, but I think it's so cute if you look at it up close. That's Harold and Katie, and that probably tells a story. Yeah, that tells a story of how they met with the umbrella. And then they got married, and here's Uncle Walt. And this is Walt and Bob. See the curly hair? And here's Bob in the wagon. Isn't that you, Bob?
I don't know.
No. You're the one little guy right here. That's Bob. And we'd go to Uncle Eddie's and Aunt Mabel's sometimes on a Sunday, and the little boys wore white shirts and white pants. So you can see them all dressed up there. Now this is one of my all-time favorite pictures of Don. See him with the little doll? See you just loving that little doll? He was a gentle, sweet child.
Here he had a ball. Here's the doll.
Oh, here's the doll. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the ball. This is the favorite. This is the favorite for me. Yeah. There he is with the doll. This is Larry and Don. Now see, Don's hair was straight. Like Don's hair and my hair were straight as a string. And Bob's and Larry's were curly. Walt's was kind of in between, I guess. There's all of us. Bob, that's just before you went to the Navy, I think. This is my dad. Larry. Oh, Terry, this is the little dress that ties on the side that was red silk.
I so wanted. I'm going to look at it after I'm done. I want to see that one.
And this is Bob back from the Navy. Bob went to Japan. You went through Panama, didn't you? Went to the Aleutian Islands and Japan. And when he got home, boy, was there a celebration over that. And this is a family picture. Walt was just getting over strep throat there. It's a good picture of my parents. Very good of Dad and Mother. I'm told I look like my mother there. I don't know if I do or not.